Before everybody start fear-mongering and losing their fucking mind, just a quick reminder that we are black. We are black. Ain't nothing in this world black people ain't been through. Not a single thing. You can't even name it. Nothing. Name one thing. You can't. We are the only race that is equipped to survive anything. Anything. Okay? Now granted, do we always want to be in survival mode? No. But sometimes you gotta avenge and be Thanos the fuck up. I mean, it ain't nothing that we ain't never did before. Let me remind you that George Bush had 2 terms. While we were getting bombed, he was fucking reading Dr. Seuss to some kindergartners. Not giving a fuck. Do you recall? Okay now. Come on now, tighten up. Y'all fear-mongering too fucking much. Relax. We're black.
If segregation come back, all I gotta say is, once black people start thriving, start having businesses, start having properties, start having land, and just thriving without y'all, do not come over here destroying our shit. Don't try to burn down our cities or none of that. Don't do that. You see black people hating on other white people because they got everything in the world? No. The fuck? We will stay in our corner, build our shit up, mind our business. That's it. We just want to thrive. So if y'all see us doing good, please leave us be. Leave us be. Spare us. Just like y'all spare every other race that come over here and build up and have all these businesses. Have y'all ever been to like Duluth, Georgia? Like literally, it's Korean businesses everywhere, on every block, on every corner. And it's just like, okay, cool. Nobody's messing with their stuff. So I want that same energy when we build our stuff up like that. So once you see black businesses everywhere, do not come over here destroying our shit. Damn. Okay, if y'all don't want us in y'all shit, that's okay. All right, whatever. But once we build a life for ourselves, don't fuck it up. That's all we asking. All right? You ain't even got to see us. Like, just don't come over here destroying our shit. Baby, because black people we ain't even gonna be stunting y'all. Like, that's the thing. We ain't even gonna be worried about y'all. And black people never was worried about y'all even back when there was segregation. You know what I'm saying? The only problem that black people have with white people is that white people were racist. That's the only problem that we have with white people. We have a problem that y'all don't like us based off our skin. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have a problem with that. I can't help that I'm fucking black. You know what I'm saying? Like, be so for real. So once we fucking thrive in this world, leave us the fuck alone. It'll be a real civil fucking war, because we ain't gonna let that shit slide. Do you know what generation you fucking with? Like, nah, we ain't gonna let that shit slide.
Okay, I think I figured out why Harmony and people was calling black Americans cowards and carrying on, because we not out there in the streets. They thought that we had no self-control. That's what they thought. They thought that when we was doing all that stuff, like in 2020 and Ferguson and Baltimore and stuff like that, and LA riots and stuff like that, it was just because we, they were so easily provoked that as soon as somebody do something to one of us, we don't have any strategy. We don't have any type of thought process. We just go like an attack dog. They thought that we had no self-control, and us deciding to sit out and being all on one accord and being strategic and not reacting is showing a level of self-control that they did not realize that we had. They thought they didn't know about us. They thought that we are messing up their perception of us. They are having a crisis about our identity, about black Americans' identity. Everybody is. Immigrants are having a crisis about our identity. White folks is having a crisis about our identity. They thought that they could count on us. They thought they knew us. And they never knew us because they didn't know our motivations. They didn't know what we were doing. They just saw the effects and they heard what the media said and they took it and ran with it. So even the people that was like, oh, we support you, this and that, the other thing, they thought that we were, justified, but they also thought we were uncontrollable. Because that's why they be like, be peaceful when you go out there. I know you got to go out there, but do it like this. Like, they think they treat us like we're children, like we are feral, unruly children. And now that we are showing them that we knew what we were doing the whole time. But now that we are showing them, we're good. You go ahead and do that. They can't handle it. They can't handle it because it's messing up what they thought they knew about black Americans. This whole year has been a mindfuck for them. Between us sitting out, between us delineating, we're really showing them in real time who we are. But we always knew, what they say, if you don't know, now you know.
The American economy is creating a very different experience for different communities. Well, in this video, we'll look at the struggles some white Americans say they are facing while also exploring how some Black Americans are working to move forward despite economic and political pressure during this Trump era. Let's see some of these clips. Please don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and tell me what you think in the comments. Alright guys, let's get into it. Pa, pa.
Did y'all see what Joy Ann Reid had to say to MAGA? Watch this.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority-serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? What are you so angry about? I go, every so often I go and lurk and look on X Twitter. Y'all are the maddest people ever. Y'all are so angry for people who have everything. Y'all said you want your country back. You have it. The rest of us are sitting back and trying to keep our peace and preserve our peace while you all are running the country. If the airlines are crashing, that's you. That's the people you wanted to run the United States government. The FBI, y'all are laughing at them on X Twitter and saying that they look ridiculous. That's your FBI. They've purged the people who made the FBI what it was. It's not what you wanted. You have your podcasters running the FBI. You have your friend from the real world running the Department of Transportation. That's what you wanted. There's no longer a gay guy there. The gay guy's gone. The gay guy's at home with his kid and his husband. He's not in charge anymore. The Department of Justice is what you wanted. It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein files, you shouldn't be mad at me and the left. You need to be mad at Donald Trump. You all have the country. You run every red state like it's already Project 2025. You won't let women have abortions in Texas. They're literally dying of sepsis. That's what you wanted. You wanted women to have only 6 weeks to get an abortion in Georgia. You got it. You wanted Texas to be a petri dish and a laboratory for every right-wing, anti-Black, anti-gay, anti-trans idea. And you also got rid of vaccines. Every child in Florida is now going to go to school with kids who could give them measles, mumps, and rubella and COVID. That's what y'all wanted. You now have a paradise in Florida where you can get sick, cough on people, let them die of whatever disease you're carrying. It's almost like you've got the pilgrims again that can come and cough on all the natives and take them out. That's what you wanted. You got it. You wanted Florida to be that. It's that. You wanted the United States to be Florida. It's that. But yet you all are still so angry. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't mean to rant and rave, but I am genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what you all are so angry about. And I think I have a suspicion and I have a guess. What you all are angry about is that while you have gotten everything you wanted on the right, we on the other side won't give you love for it. We won't respect you for it. We won't hail you for it. We won't respect you and say, hey, we want to, have you at the Oscars. We want to fet you. We want to make you guys, we want to wrap our arms around you. You want us to embrace you. You don't just want to run us and tell us what to do and tell us what to think and tell us what to read and tell us what history we can have. You don't just want to tell us what to do. You want us to embrace you. What you really want is to sit at our table. You're mad because while you are running the country into the ground, you're destroying your own farmers with tariffs. You're destroying your own farmers by taking away their subsidies that used to go with USAID. You got what you wanted. They've ended the farm subsidies. These are the things y'all asked for. You got your big, beautiful budget. That's what you wanted. Trump gave it right to you. You got your permanent tax cut. You're still pissed because the left, the other side, the majority we still cannot stand you. We cannot stand Christian nationalism. We don't want it. And because we will not say we want your Christian nationalism, we embrace your Christian nationalism. We like your Christian nationalism. We like you. Because we won't do that, that's why you're still mad. But guess what we're going to keep on doing? We're going to keep on being moisturized and unbothered, and we still not going to like it. We're never going to like Christian nationalism. We're never going to accept it. We're never going to be down with it. And our squad is bigger than your squad at the end of the day. We have the Boricuas. We got the Mexican Americans. They done woke up. They said, whoo, Lord, let's go ahead and go with these folks. We got the spicy whites. The spicy white folk are with us. They're with us. Right? We got the Asian Americans who've woken up and said, whoa, we better be with them. Right? Chinese Americans, they see you. Japanese Americans are like, you're going to do internment again? We see you.
South Koreans
are like, whoa, we see you. Y'all going to kick the South Koreans out. Now you're going to cry because Georgia's going to have a worse economy because you're not going to get to have the South Koreans teaching y'all to have those high-tech jobs. The South Koreans are like, oh, well, sure hate it. Africa's like, we're just going to do business with each other. We got BRICS. We don't need y'all. Tourists are like, we don't need y'all. The African Americans, the Caribbean Americans are getting together and said, yo, why are we fighting each other? Caribbean Americans are like, yo, we were y'all. We made a hip hop together. Let's go off. And you're mad at us because we do not want to be with you. This America you want, that's yours, y'all. You keep it. We don't want it.
I love me some Joy Ann Reid. She did not mince words. She didn't stumble. She didn't stutter. She was very clear and concise about every fucking thing. And I know MSNBC hates that for her because they really fucked up letting her go. But why is y'all really mad? Like, why is y'all out here talking about white man fight back, white man fight back? Who is y'all fighting back against? Y'all are making all the decisions on every fucking thing. Y'all got control of the Senate, control of the House, control of the motherfucking White House. Y'all changing all the fucking rules. Why is y'all so fucking mad? America is being ran the way y'all wanted it to be ran. So it don't make no fucking sense that y'all out here huffing and puffing when y'all the ones in charge. Y'all just mad that we never gonna get with y'all program. We don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. We gonna stay over here and do what the fuck we gotta do for our people until we can figure out a way to get y'all the fuck up out of there. But we will never fuck with y'all. Ever.
Now, this is why arguing on the internet with folks is not for everybody. Because sometimes, every now and then, you will F around and find out that you are talking to the wrong one. Now, this man right here was trying to essentially rebuttal an entire statement I made about how Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was elected into office in '64 after JFK's assassination, brought in social welfare reforms that disincentivize black folk from having two parents in a household and incentivize single mother households. And I said how that was the turning point where black folks started to struggle more than they ever had historically, besides before 1863 and slavery. So this guy says FDR is the one who created social welfare. 2, why would he not? Black folks were already unable to be self-sufficient, considering 100 years after slavery and zero rich black folks in the 70s. All right. So first and foremost, FDR's biography. Okay. This is the first F around and find out moment. If you read into FDR's history, yes, there was social reform, but you have to understand the context which that social reform was in, right? It was not a mutually exclusive to urban areas. So I'm just going to leave that there. Please make sure to actually educate yourself before jumping on the internet and trying to get at folks. Secondly, there was a woman by the name of Madam C.J. Walker who was born 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. She was born in 1867. This woman died in 1919 and she became the first black billionaire, which means she became a billionaire right out of slavery. A woman who was an indentured servant for most of her life, then built her own business, even in the midst of Jim Crow. There were a multitude of wealthy black folk who were dominating industry within their own ecosystem. Now, was it a fair system? I would not say so. The Democratic Party institutionalized Jim Crow, segregation. So black folk had to be reliant upon themselves. The government was not going to necessarily view them as equals, right? The Democratic powers that be from, the time of slavery, really, when the Republican Party was formed in order to combat slavery, all the way until 1960, where the Republic or the Democratic Party finally said, you know what? We might not like these people, but we can at least get their vote as long as we keep them under our thumb. And Lyndon Baines Johnson himself, he was quoted as saying, we're going to have these Negroes voting Democrat for the next 60 years. And his prophecy has pretty much come manifest. So this is a complete rebutted statement. The first statement is, well, it's a half truth because yes, it was social welfare, but that had nothing to do with the state of black folk in America. Just research Black Wall Street. Simple as that. Second here is black folk were already unable to be self-sufficient. They were one of the most self-sufficient peoples in America because they literally had to do for self. Literally. There's an entire segment of history that is oftentimes forgotten and people think it was, just this wasteland. Black folk was just running amok. No, they were the most married in around 85% with two parents in the household. They were building industry and infrastructure. Now they had to combat the Democratic, racist party that formed the Cool Kids Club and looked to eradicate them. But even in spite of that, they were able to mobilize and build. When the tides turned was when Lyndon Baines Johnson, or at least him and his cronies, switched the game and essentially started to bring black people in, not because of goodwill, but instead because of the benefit they would have with a stronghold, with a vote of individuals or a demographic of people that was growing faster than any other demographic of people. That's what that was about.
Racist white people trying to use the same racism their ancestors used in 2026 is always hilarious to me, because y'all are poor. I would just like to inform you that a white man entered my DMs and called me an ugly nigger and told me I would never amount to anything in my life. So naturally, I click on his profile, which is not private, and I see that he lives in a trailer park in Wisconsin. So you're poor. And this is a PSA to white racist people who are MAGA, who are usually poor and uneducated and don't have an education, have never left their hometown. Your ancestors could afford to be racist because at least they held a power structure in place where all of them were wealthier than black people, but you guys are poor. I literally just flew back from Vegas on a whim to see my nephew and take him to see fireworks. I'm packing for Colombia and then I'm going to Spain next week. What are you doing in Wisconsin? You're poor. Based on what I've seen in your profile, your credit score is at a 500. So I would say this to white people who are racist. The jokes are old and antiquated. They don't hit. Your ancestors, like I said, had power over us, but I'm sorry, that doesn't exist anymore. So if you're going to talk shit and be racist to someone and say things like, oh, you'll never amount to nothing. Oh, you're chimping out. Oh, 15% of the population. I'm not poor. You are. I'm not poor. I have my MBA. I have 3 degrees. I have a beautiful life. And by no means am I bragging. I am, because you're a racist and you live in a fucking trailer. It's not my fault you weren't able to take advantage of white privilege in this country and you see me and it triggers you because, once again, you're poor. And on that note, I'm getting ready to pack for the rest of my trip. I'm going to Colombia tonight, actually. And while I'll be on an airplane in first class, you'll still be poor in Wisconsin. And while you're saying I'll never amount to anything, you'll be working that farm job tomorrow, whatever the fuck you do. All right? Stay black, stay blessed. Bye. Happy Sunday.
Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get into today's topic, please don't forget to like your baby's video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Here is an uncomfortable question. What if the economic struggle many Americans are experiencing don't look the same across racial lines? Some white Americans are facing serious financial pressure, right? Rising household expenses, housing costs, job uncertainty, and feeling that the economy isn't working the way they expected. At the same time, some black Americans are finding ways to keep moving forward. They are starting businesses, changing careers, investing in their community, building careers, and creating opportunity despite many of this economic pressure. But let's be realistic. This isn't a story about all white American struggle or all black American thriving. Both communities contain people doing extremely well and people facing serious financial hardship. What makes this conversation interesting is the perception. For years, many Americans have assumed that economic success or hardship follows a predictable racial pattern. But today's economy is more complicated. And when political policies affect everyone, differently, people can begin asking uncomfortable questions like, who is actually benefiting, who is struggling, and why? The answer isn't simply about race or one president. Education, location, wealth, employment, housing, family circumstances, and access to opportunity all plays a role, right? But here is the bigger point. Economy resilience doesn't always look the way people expect. Some people adapt, some change careers, some start a business, some lean on their communities, and others struggle despite doing everything they can. Do you think American economic divide is becoming less predictable, or do racial economic inequality remain just as important as ever? Well, I would like you to drop your thoughts in the comments. I would like to know your thoughts in the comments. And once again, please don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notification for more conversation about race, economy, politics, and American society. Once again, thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye. Love ya. Mwah.